are watching Platinum Northwest TV News. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Philadelphia Mangoeng. Let's take a look at the leading top stories. First up, 71-year-old man has been released on warning after he allegedly defrauded the South African Revenue Services, and South Africa receives assurance that the Libyans will not be punished. In the business news, Youth Development Organization calls for urgent action to combat youth unemployment. And in the sports news, Seskhona Promotions host a boxing revival. We begin here. The Rustenburg Magistrates Court released 71-year-old Andrew Masike on warning after he appeared for allegedly defrauding the South African Revenue Services. Now, Masike was charged alongside his company, Ibooking Properties and Estate Agency C. Hawks and the National Prosecuting Authority, the NPA, in the Northwest Province said that Masike and his company faced charges of fraud and the contravention of Tax Administration Act. Masike was summoned to appear before the court by the Hawks Serious Commercial Crime Investigation on the 6th of August, following an investigation into alleged misrepresentation in value-added tax returns submitted to the South African Revenue Service, amounting to over 4.6 million rand. His matter was postponed to September 16th. In other news, South Africa has received guarantees from Libya that the 95 nationals who've been deported will not be punished. Charges were dropped against them last week, with Home Affairs tasked with facilitating the deportation process. The Libyans were found at an illegal military camp after they were granted study visas. The Department of Home Affairs has concluded its preparations and had them leave South Africa from the Kruger-Mpumalanga International Airport yesterday morning in a flight that has been paid for by the Libyan government. Home Affairs Minister Dr. Leon Schreiber welcomed the swift conclusion of the deportation. Let's listen in.
Home Affairs is concluding its role in the deportation of 95 Libyans arrested in Mpumalanga last month. They are scheduled to leave South Africa from the Kruger-Mpumalanga International Airport this morning in a flight that has been paid for by the Libyan government. I wish to commend the Home Affairs officials and other law enforcement officers who work tirelessly to ensure an expeditious processing and deportation. We will continue to deploy all resources at our disposal to ensure that South Africa's immigration laws are respected and observed at all times.
In international news, doctors in war-torn Gaza have detected a case of polio for the first time in 25 years, with international aid bodies calling for a pause in the conflict to make way for the vaccination drive. Polio is a highly contagious disease that mainly affects children under the age of 5. It targets the nervous system and can cause paralysis and death in extreme cases. Traces of poliovirus were found in a 10-month-old child in the central Gaza city of Deir al-Balah. Now, the resurgence of the virus eliminated in most of the developed world highlights the struggles facing Gaza's 2 million residents who have lived under Israeli bombardment since October last year. Now, let's take a look at the business news. In the business news, the latest employment statistics underscore the urgency and critical need for coordinated efforts in South Africa. This is according to Dr. Oni Nwaneri, the Chief Executive Officer of Youth Development Organization Africa Tikkun. Now, South Africa's quarterly labor force survey for quarter 2 shows that the unemployment rate for women rose from 35.2% in the first quarter to 35.8% in the second quarter of 2024, with youth unemployment sitting at 60.8% compared to the previous quarters of 59.7%. Nwaneri says that youth unemployment has reached crisis levels. Meanwhile, Western Cape Premier Alan Winde has lauded the province for maintaining the lowest youth unemployment rate in the country in the second quarter of this year. The provincial unemployment rate is just over 22%. In more business news, banks are warning retirement fund members against accessing their savings early from their pension funds. In June, President Cyril Ramaphosa signed the two-part retirement system into law. It splits all the retirement fund contributions into two parts, a savings pot and a retirement pot. FNB is the latest bank to join the chorus of warnings for South Africa, saying that members should think carefully about the potential impact that accessing savings early could have. FNB says taking money out of your retirement savings can slow down the growth compound of your returns. And that's all from the business news. Up next, we take a look at your sports. In sporting news, Seskhona Boxing Promotions held a boxing tournament under the theme of Boxing Revival in the Northwest at the Banquet Hall in Klerksdorp. Now, the undercard listing had 8 fights between 4 to 6 rounds per bout, whereas the main card event was scheduled for like 8 rounds. Now, in the main card event, Mtombeni Quvile from Klerksdorp faced off against Malawian Tamiwe Chilosola. Quvile went on to attack from the onset and knocked Chilosola to the canvas, who managed to get up before the count, but the onslaught continued from Quvile and the match official stopped the bout in the first round, handing the victory to Quvile via technical knockout. Let's take a look. In a bruising 6-round fight, Tumelo Mphahlele came out victorious against KwaZulu-Natal boxer Calvin Black via a technical knockout.
Into the last and final round, round number 6, for your winner, via TKO from Tembisa, Gauteng, Tumelo, slow poisoning.
Boxing fighters utilized their jabs well and kept on moving around to avoid heavy shots to the head or body and being pinned down in the corners. Mphahlele landed the cleaner hits between the two fighters. Sizolwethu Sibiya beat Sipho Makatini via technical knockout as well after the referee stopped the 4-round bout. Now, neither boxer gave an inch as both landed heavy blows to the other. Makatini started off explosively but started to fade away toward the back end of the fight, which gave Sibiya an opportunity, and he duly pounced on that change.
Stops the contest. The official time of the stoppage, 1 minute. 24 seconds into your 4th and final round. For your winner, via TKO, all the way from Paris, Free State, Sizolwethu, the big man.
Now, the MEC for Sports, Arts and Culture and Recreation, Colin Maina, was in attendance and gave a few words during the breaks in between the bouts. Let's take a look.
We politicians who are used to talking too much, and I'm sure we're not in the mood of speeches. I just want to say, Seskhona, thanks for organizing this event, and we want to commit on behalf of government that will work this part. We have, and I don't hear you mentioning it, that you have sponsored the event 100% as a department, because we want to see a revival of boxing in the Northwest. Now, I'm sure I'm allowed to take sides. My side is the side of the Northwest. So as they are punching each other here, I'm taking side of the Northwest people. Not that I'm anti-people from other provinces, but we want to promote boxing in our province. I want to have an engagement in the boxing South Africa. Because what has been happening is that promoters from outside the province have been coming to our department looking for funds. And I must say that the door is closed for promoters outside the Northwest province. They can come, and because legally they are allowed to host boxing all over the country. But our funding is going to be strictly for people from the Northwest Province. For obvious reasons. We want serious revival of sports, and in this case of boxing in the province. So I'm sure that Halena Wethaga will listeners, people from outside our province. It cannot be like we are getting a lot of mines, but we don't see what the mines are doing for the province. So it can't be that with the legend that we have as a department, we then give it to our fellow sisters and brothers, and I'm saying this knowing very well that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, but my budget is for the people of the Northwest. We will be hosting, as part of 16 days against DBV in November, female boxing. The department is going to fund it 100%. And I know that if the promoters from the Northwest go to any other province looking for funds, they will not get it. So why should we in the Northwest fund people who are not from our province? So that's the message I want to leave.
While Edward Sithole from Seskhona Boxing Promotions had this to say after the event.
Mr. Sithole, how do you feel about today's event as the event organizer?
Itumetse thata go event e tsamele sentle ne ke sa lebella di tsetseng fanda ga mo tsa re MEC ka ta support ka pelo le moya le di sponsors tse dintse le re khale di batla re thusa like bo OMV bo Crescent Center le Department of Sports and Arts and Culture. I'm very so happy. I give you ngare
ke eng o nagana ka thusa go godisa boxing mo province ya rona?
Ya ke ha di sponsors tsa rona di khona go ra tumela di buele rona ke nana boxing ka tsoga bo kone mo phirima ka thata ka since bo kone mo phirima tswa khale boxing le go dimo but ile a feletsa e wele but no re na sponsor ka atumela like sports arts and culture ka atumela mo rona re ka ba sharp
na go MEC maina bu ana reng go lona go teng ga reng
ya o re tshepisitse ka thata re go re tloetsa show gore boxing wa itsosa mo Northwest boxing revival in the Northwest we it's 100% sure a gona promote tlo tswang go Gauteng go kae e tla mo to host tournament related na promoter tsa mo Northwest.
As promoter wena self you kutlwa motlotlo yang le gore pele o bona e ya kae tournament tse di yana mo Northwest?
Ya tournament yana go ka nna ke shebile gore re to go pusha le department ya rona and reference di world champion tswa mo Northwest mo like sentse rena lona tlare bugodo ne se world champion tswa mo gymnasium ya rona so ke nana gore re to go pusha go feta mo.
Still in boxing news, Dricus du Plessis has submitted Israel Adesanya to retain the middleweight crown. The opening exchanges were a feeling-out process for both fighters, with both landing significant strikes. Now, du Plessis continued to walk through the fire in round 4, taking damage but firing back with a hot blitz. Finally, one of them paid off. Quick as lightning, the champion took Adesanya back, sunk into his hooks, flattened him out, and got his forearm right under Adesanya's chin, securing a rear naked choke. Now, it was a sleep or tap for Adesanya, and he chose the latter. Dricus du Plessis spoke on the rivalry between Israel Adesanya after the fight. Let's take a look.
Wow, I mean, obviously, I always knew shit. If I'm in trouble fighting one of the, if not the greatest strikers ever in this division, I need that takedown. Got the takedown. You know, at this level, it's hard to keep people down. This man is the king of getting back up. Nobody can take him down and keep him there. I got a few good ones, landed a few good punches, but ultimately I believe this fight was won on the feet. Like I said, I'm alive right now. That's just a bonus. I came in here to die for this belt, and I came here to take a life. Luckily tonight we didn't have to do either of those things. But here I am, and still champion, baby. Thank you, Perth. This was the most amazing atmosphere I've ever fought in front. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody back home. Like when you gaan nooit leer nie. Ons sal hom elke keer herinner. Hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie.
Now, Adesanya vowed he would come back stronger in his post-match interview.
Is this a bad taste in your mouth that you want to return soon?
Nah, people think I give like that. I mean it. It just takes a lot of work internally to let go of the result. Last time I lost my fight in a worse fashion, and I was just like, this is my first time getting submitted. Another history. Wow, amazing. Just keep doing it, bro. I'm just great at this. Nah, but that last one was just, see, perspective, silver lining. But yeah, the last one was just something I wasn't happy with. This one I'm happy with the way I performed, but just not happy with the result. But I wasn't holding on the result. I was just worried about displaying the work we've done, and I felt like I did that. So yeah, you'll see me again when you see me again. I'm not like, oh, I need to do this, I need to go fight for the belt again, I need to, none of that. I'm just doing me. I want to just keep getting better. I want to get better at my grappling. I can't grapple, as you can see. I was able, I think I even took him down at one point, but he had did I have a whizzer, or did he? No, I had an underhook. He had a strong whizzer, so he luckily stopped it. I just didn't kick my leg high enough. But yeah, you guys don't know my skill set, but I'm gonna get better. Even my striking, I'm gonna get better at that again. And then when you see me, you'll see me. So it's not gonna be like you'll see me in 3 months like you normally do. You'll see me when you see me again. So enjoy me while I'm here, because you will miss me when I'm gone.
Du Plessis was also asked who he feels deserves a shot at facing him between Sean Strickland and Robert Whittaker at the post-match press conference.
Personally, if you're willing to answer this, who do you think would be more deserving, Sean Strickland or the winner?
Robert Whittaker.
There we go. Thank you for that.
Robert Whittaker deserves the shot. I think he's being done over. Whittaker beat Costa. The only thing, Sean Strickland's only saving grace here is the fact that he won a decision.
Yep.
With me. That's it. So yeah, I mean, Robert Whittaker beat Costa in a more spectacular fashion, I believe, than Strickland did. And then, willing to step up fight comes out, he pulls out. Whittaker fights not a nobody in the sense of he's not ranked. He can only lose, and it's a great fighter. Ikram, right?
Ikram. Yeah.
Ikram. He's an amazing fighter. He's really good. Whittaker makes it look like he was fighting an amateur. And what does he get for it? Nothing. Then says, okay, I'll fight Hamzat again. So he beats Hamzat, and you're not giving him a title shot. He's pulling on he's getting the short end of the stick, unfortunately, but that's not on me. I'll fight whoever. So Strickland right now, that's the fight that people want to see, so that's what they get. But Whittaker is definitely the one that's being done over in this, in my opinion. He's more deserving, but life's not fair.
And that's where we're going to have to leave it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. The team will be back again tomorrow evening. Till then, good night and take care.